Hi guys! Today I'm actually going to be doing a pen test in my B6 Stalogy. I'm not 100% sure how to say it exactly. I've heard it pronounced both ways. But I just thought we would do a pen test with all of the pens and pencils and markers and all that stuff that I use on a pretty regular basis in my planners to kind of get a better feel for it. This was actually sent to me from October, and she kind of knew I was wanting to try some different planners and, you know, just try some new things, and she was kind enough to send me this. So I kind of want to just familiarize myself with it a little bit better. This is actually going to be my moon journal for 2020. Right now I use a little micro notes. So for more space, I think I'm going to give this a try for 2020. I kind of have some really cool ideas already, but that's another videos at another time. Today I'm just going to be doing a pen test, so I guess let's just get started. For some of these, I have picked, like, you'll see that they're the same. I picked like a lighter version and a darker version, or a light version and a much brighter version, just to kind of see and get the feel if there's any difference. So I'm going to be using these to start it off with. There's one swipe, and then I'm going to do 2 swipes. Now I know that these pages are pretty thin, so just kind of want to test everything out. Those were the Stalogy Gloss highlighters. Now I'm going to do my mild liners. These, I have the pink, the purple, and the dark gray. So I did kind of like a light, a really dark, and then I know these are kind of bright. So let's start with the lighter one. Do 1 swipe and then a 2. Do a 1 swipe and then a layered. I'm going to take my pen and kind of write. And put ×2 above these where it's doubled or layered. Let's check out the back here. That's pretty good. With the Stalogies, I can see a little bit of bleed through, but not with the mild liners. I mean, there's shadowing just because this paper is really, really thin, but that doesn't bother me. Let's do a quick little pencil sketch, because sometimes I'll draw stuff with pencil and then trace over it with pen, so I kind of want to just do some of that. Do some lines. Now let's draw like a little flower. Boop, little flower. Now I'm going to draw one and trace over it. Okay, so now let's go to the Fineliners here. These are Stalogy Fineliners. I don't know if I'm even saying that right, honestly. Fineliners, I have black, this really dark magenta, and then I have this light purple again, just so I have a dark, a bright, and a light tone. So let's start with the light. Let's do where we fill in a little square like this. We do a couple lines and do like a squiggly. I used to use these pens all the time. I don't really use them a lot anymore. Well, the colored ones anyway. I typically use like the black one to outline and that type of thing, but I don't really use a lot of colored, like brightly colored pens all the time, but sometimes I do, so I wanted to test those out too. Let's do the Artis Inkonic pens. Again, I have a dark navy and a bright pink just for, you know, some balance. Let's do the same thing with this, where we color in a section, do a few lines, and then a squiggly. That like barely shows up. Huh. It's really light. Do a square, some lines, and a squiggly. I like my technical terms for this, just by the way. Alright, so now that those are done, and the pencil is done, I have a Le pen. I use this a lot to outline with, so I'm just going to do like a box, and I'm going to shade it in. I think making little pen test and swatch pages are really kind of fun. It's just something kind of neat to do. Okay, so now we're going to do the Artis retractable gel pens. I'm going to start with the black one. I use this one a lot, more so to draw with than anything. This is the lighter color here. So I'm just going to do the same thing with this one. Kind of make a little square, fill it in. I'm going to do some squigglies, some lines, and then I'm going to really layer it up over each other. You know, coming from someone who is, you know, who used to just use only happy planners, you know, the size is very, I like the size a lot, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's really kind of small, but I like that it's just like a completely blank slate, except for the pages have these really faint gray lines. I like that it's just totally blank. There's no calendar, no dates, no anything. I can make it into anything I want it to. These are the Tweye markers from Artis. There is a brush tip and a fine tip. We're going to test both. I'll do that and layer it up. And do like a squiggly. Now we're going to do the fine tip. One. And then a squiggly. I use these more so for like art and stuff. But, you know, sometimes that translates over into my actual planners. So I just want to kind of check it out. Get a feel for everything. I probably could have made this just a little bit easier. Okay, I have a Papermate Flair. So let's do a little box. Some lines and a squiggly. Okay, and lastly, I have my real brush pens. I use these quite a bit, so I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to work. I'm going to do like a swipe, and then I want to kind of build up the color a little bit. Again, I just chose a bright color, and then I tried to do like a darker color too. So I'm going to do a line. And then really try to build up the color in this little area here. Kind of nice and layered. And this pen I've been using the entire time is the Villa Beautiful, so we'll just give it its own little box too. Scratch, scratch, scratch. So that's really about it. Now let's check out the back and kind of see what we got going on here. Okay, so what was this one? The Le pen bled through and like almost perfectly, you can kind of see. Look, so that's the Le pen. Everything else, I mean, obviously you can tell there's shadowing, but like I said, this paper is really thin. You're going to have shadowing regardless. But other than that, there's no real like bleed through. There's a little bit down here, but actually not a lot, surprisingly. And then just a touch at the end of the Helio Boss highlighters. But, I mean, I feel like that gives me a lot of options. These are pretty much all pens that I reach for on a weekly basis. So, I mean, I don't actually reach for this one quite a lot, so I don't have to worry about that. The main pen I use to write with are my VB pens. And then I use my mild liners and my Stalogy highlighters a lot. I use these a lot and these a lot. So I'm not disappointed at all. I think it's really kind of cool. And I'm excited to use this for my 2020 Moon Journal. Maybe we can do lots of fun stuff in here. Like I said at the beginning, this is all kind of new to me. And I just kind of wanted to play around with some pens and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.